Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you liked the last video that I posted about a week ago. For the people who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Esther and my YouTube channel is about the travel journey that I am currently doing through East and South Africa. I realized that with the previous video I did about a week ago that I did not really have a proper intro. So I thought it would be a good idea to do some intros from now on with every video, especially because I'm traveling, just to do a quick catch up about where I am at the moment, what I'm about to do, the things I have done, and the places I will be heading off to. So like I said, about a week ago I posted my first video for my adventures here in South Africa, and I do want to have a small catch up about what my actual plan is here in South Africa and what I've done so far. So I will be spending about 10 weeks in South Africa, from which I've spent 2 weeks in Cape Town. I will have 5 weeks on the bus, from which I will be going to Joburg. I will spend about 1.5 to 2 weeks around Joburg, Lesotho and Swaziland. Then I will come back to Cape Town because on November 17th I will go on this overland tour through Namibia and Botswana, which end at the Victoria Falls. So yeah, like I said, I've spent 2 weeks in Cape Town, and the video I posted last week was about my first week in Cape Town. I've met some amazing people there. I've stayed at the most amazing hostel. I've seen so many things, I've done so many things, and I really think that putting it in a video is the best way to take you guys with me on my journey. So this video that I'm going to be at right now is about the second week that I stayed in Cape Town. So yeah, let's not waste any more time. I'm so excited to show you guys the adventures that I got in the second week that I was in Cape Town. Let's go right to the video.
Oh God, my back. Oh God. Oh no.
You ready?
You all, in the name of peace, democracy and freedom for all.
So as some of you may know, Nelson Mandela has been somebody I've been looking up to very much. So a visit to Robben Island during my stay in Cape Town could not be missed. On August 5th, 1962, Nelson Mandela was convicted of sabotaging the South African apartheid government. Therefore, he received a life sentence in prison. In total, he spent 27 years in prison, from which 18 years he spent on Robben Island.
Tour to Robben Island is in 2 phases. One in the prison and one around the island. But your tour gonna start in the prison.
Ndoza. Please don't call me Mandoza. Ndoza. When they were censoring a letter, they were deleting all the relevant information. They thought that it was giving us. It was given access to enter this prison. When they left, the same clothes were taken back.
Thank you. On behalf of the Robben Island Museum, I wish to welcome you to the island. My name is Nozuko and I'll be your tour guide. Various people this. Firstly, to relieve themselves as a toilet. There were 2 buckets that were placed inside. It was practically impossible.
The next day, I decided to dig some more into the history of apartheid and decided to join one of the 3 free walking tours in the city center of Cape Town.
This is the section of the Berlin Wall, and if you are wondering what it's doing here in Cape Town, when Mr. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela became South Africa's first African democratic state president, he went on a world during the years of apartheid. If I had to tell you guys about all the laws and systems they made up inside this building, I can keep us here for weeks. And I'm not going to do that to myself or to you. More importantly, this was an office space to a place called the Race Classification Center. They had a simple job, which was, if you were not obviously Asian or European, you'd have to come to this building to be then racially classified. Come stand in front of this group of strangers. They would look at your bone structure, how tall you are, the width of your shoulders, your jawline, your nose, shape and color of your eyes, how curly your hair is. They would ask you some key questions to listen to your accent. They would take all of these factors in account and then they would get to decide what race they believe you belong to. And when 1982 arrived, only 3 years before I was born, no one was left here anymore. 2,000 families, 60,000 people used to live here. That's a massive community. There were lots of white people who lived in District 6, and most of them were activists, liberals, musicians and artists. They were in mixed race relationships and they didn't feel at home in white suburbs. They had to go back to where they came from and separated from their children and lovers. Same happened to the black African people. They had to go to townships like Langa, Gugulethu and Khayelitsha. It's a presidential house, can never be sold. It will always belong to the current president of South Africa.
So the next 2 days were filled with surfing and some more walking tours through Cape Town. First off, we started with the historic city tour.
The castle never had to fire one single cannon in self-defense. Although a lot of soldiers, they died at the castle because of a natural predator. Can any of you guys guess what killed the soldiers at the castle? Mosquitoes killed.
Now, 90% of the slaves that came to Cape Town came from the east and came from Muslim countries. Because you can imagine when the Dutch arrived, and they arrived in the name of the Dutch East Indian Company. The Netherlands never colonized Cape Town. It was a company. And they started a business. And they needed to supply ships with food that came past en route to the east. So Jan van Riebeeck arrived with 3 ships. So he needed people to help him build a town, to help on the farms. And the only people he found in Cape Town, the only indigenous people of this area, the Khoisan or the Bushmen. were hunters and they had cattle. They did not have the sort of skills that Van Riebeeck needed to help him build a town. So when the ships would come down and stop here to stock up, he would literally put in an order, bring me slaves. What is interesting, as the slaves would come back from the east, they would sell the slaves here because first of all they got a very good price. It was a rare commodity. Everybody understands when I'm doing this. And second of all, the Dutch East Indian Company made slavery legal in Cape Town. It was illegal in the Netherlands. So they had to get rid of their slaves in Cape Town.
Next up, it was finally time to visit the colorful Bo-Kaap area.
The first one is that the doctor painted his house green so that people could find him. Now, because there have been so many myths in the Bo-Kaap, we got a guy from the Bo-Kaap. He's a Dr. Arnold, he's an academic, a Muslim man. So we run all our facts by him, and just to make sure we don't talk nonsense. And when I ran that myth by him, his answer was simply, how stupid do we look? Fair enough answer. Because it was said that the doctor went for green so that people could find him, and then the teacher followed with pink, and the lawyer was purple, and the baker was orange. It's got nothing to do with people's occupations, and I'm sure if you need to go to the doctor, you go to his address. Right. The other one is really degrading. It is said because it's a Muslim area and people are not allowed to drink alcohol here, they used to go down to the docks and into town and have a really good time. Drink too much, honestly. I don't know when was the last time anybody here was so drunk that you can't find your home. I doubt it if the colour is going to help. The houses used to be as white as that one until 1990. Yes, the year Nelson Mandela was released. It's a celebration of a people that survived slavery and apartheid and have been ignored for so long. So the moment Nelson Mandela was released, they celebrated their uniqueness by painting their houses in different colors.
Last but not least, it was time to hike up Lion's Head.
Oh God, my back. Oh God. Oh no.
You ready? Should I say it again? What? I don't know if I can do that. It's so nice being here. Where are we?
I'm